Hello, good evening everyone. I'm hoping this is working. I'm trying something new. So currently I managed to find a free program of such that allows me to stream on both platforms at the same time. So welcome everyone to I guess the big leagues. I'm streaming on Twitch and YouTube at the same time now. I want to see how this goes. It seems pretty easy to set up. I'm glad you can hear me. Thank you, Muzza. Only unfortunate side of streaming on both is the fact that I can only really show chat for Twitch. I haven't been able to find a way to have both chats, nor them combined or anything like that. Haven't really dived down that path just yet. I'm waiting for dinner at the moment. It is quite late, but hopefully I'll have some dinner soon. But yeah, we're gonna see how this goes. I might even have Ern jump on as tech support and emotional support person to help me get through this managing 2 streams at once. It's a bit crazy. No, I can't imagine it's gonna be too crazy. Tuesday nights are never— we don't usually stream Tuesday nights, usually it's Tuesday mornings, so it's sort of not part of the normal time, but it should be fine. I was gonna do some art, so as for— I did stream a little bit earlier today, and we did kind of come up with a bit of an idea, but I do want to run a few of the ideas I had with Ern, because he had some ideas about what to do for my Be Right Back screen instead. So I was kind of shocked to hear the pop-up sound that you were streaming. Apologies, I just seem to have a tendency to scare you, don't I? Yeah. And look, if you're subscribed to my YouTube, then, you know, you get that extra shock as well. By the way, if you guys do get real annoyed about the ads on Twitch, I am not special on YouTube. I am some wee little channel with a lovely small tiny group of 30 people. So I don't have ads running on that. So any ads you get, not from me, and I'm pretty sure ad blockers should still work on YouTube. I'm not sure, but yeah, so there's that. I do have YouTube chat up as well, so I can read it. It just doesn't appear on stream, so it's a little more, I guess, a little less public, I guess. Emojis and stuff aren't usually as great on YouTube. I've never been a part of YouTube live stream, like, properly. So there's that. I would switch over things, but I'm currently trying to fix things, so here we go. Hi. Yeah, so I have that up on the side, so I'm not sure how that works. I also don't have any notification sounds for stuff from YouTube either. So there's going to be a lot of new things to sort of look into and pursue on that. I do have the subscriber only chat turned on for YouTube, but you only have to be subscribed for 5 minutes or longer in order to chat on that. Well, YouTube is easy to use and all. I feel like Twitch is just better for streaming. I agree, but at the same time, I thought it's worth a shot to see how it goes. Not like I'm getting any money out of either of them, but in case one of them helps me, like, sort of pop off a little bit more, you know, it's not gonna hurt. My internet can sustain it, streaming on both of them, so it's not like it's gonna change much at all. It just means one more chat for me to pay attention to, I guess. But even then, like, this, I might get, you know, I might stream and I might get 0 viewers on YouTube consistently every time. So, yeah, we'll just have to see how it goes. I'm not sure how well VTubers are received on there, so no clue. Reach out as much as you can. It's a good idea to get as much visibility as you can. Yeah, basically. And the way things have been going currently, I, might as well try and take this spare time that I've got and then invest as much of it I can into to streaming. If going to Kick too. I don't know if I'll go to Kick. I don't know. I'll try the YouTube and Twitch combo. I technically can stream to Twitter and stream to Kick as well. I can stream to TikTok as well if I really want to go down that path. I don't feel like I have quite the personality to pull off some of those things though. I know nothing about Kick. I have Twitter, but I don't use Twitter. I didn't even know you could stream on Twitter. So that's something new that I learned recently. It's a new thing, right? Streaming to Twitter, that's a new thing, right? Yeah, so I'm just sort of like, I might as well, if I can do both, I might as well do both, right? It's kind of like a you can't win the race unless you're part of it kind of situation, right? So the more chance of, okay, here's the thing I found out. This is my first stream ever on YouTube. But you know how like Twitch affiliate is like, okay, you've got to have X amount, like 100. Oh, Friendly Geordie's is streaming right now? Holy shit. All I hear is that Kick is mostly for political streamers, but I could be wrong. Yeah, I want to stay far away from politics if possible. Politics and VTubing, it really doesn't mix well. I forgot what I was saying. I've completely lost my train of thought. This is great. Yeah, right. Kick pays a lot though. I don't know. It might be a bit too risky. I don't know. Like, I'm not getting paid much at all. Being on Twitch, I don't get hardly any money anyway. And YouTube, I found out for YouTube to start getting like payments and this and that for YouTube, right? 500 subscribers. I haven't even hit 300 300 follows yet on Twitch. I can't imagine like, getting 500 on YouTube. I have 30 subscribers on YouTube at the moment. So dude, like I am not even a blimp on the radar. I am non-existent. So yeah, like I guess all we can do is see how it goes, and if it happens, it happens. If we have people that come and join from YouTube that they've never even touched Twitch in their life. They've always heard of it, but they're always too scared to try. They much prefer YouTube streaming. Then, hell yeah. Well, they're more than welcome. It just gives that little extra outlook. Extra sort of, extra set of eyes, I guess. Because, yeah, like, I've been posting some of my VODs to YouTube, so I know there's a couple people that sort of watch out for that. But, maybe there's a chance that they might want to come by and say hi, so. I'm so confused by the two of you. What? Every time Geordie says stream, I always type, what pasta do you guys like to get a reply? And what would you reply if you got asked that question, Muzza? He always asks if he comes to Canada, could he stay at my place? That's fair. Dude, like, I'd say same thing if I met someone that's from a place that I'd want to go to. If you're the only person I know from there. Oh, but my god, it won't be a long stream. I really just wanted to test this out and see how it goes. We'll try and do some art. I almost said try to do some pasta. That's because I saw your chat message pop up at the exact time. Homemade pasta with penne. I'd love it. Canada is only the second largest country in the world. True. Yeah, say hi to YouTube, everyone. So YouTube is I'm also live over there. If you want to avoid ads, you might not watch it, but you know, I don't have any ads on YouTube. Like, if there are ads, it's not me running them, it's YouTube running them. So I'm dual streaming. I'm streaming on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. But my setup is for Twitch streaming, so the stream to YouTube is like kind of like it's very like duplicate to what's happening on Twitch, so it's like a thing. If I get YouTube notifications, that's why I have to have it up on the side, so I can keep note of that if anything happens. I don't really get any notifications if I get like a new subscriber or anything like that, so I don't know how it works. YouTube link on your Twitch is a 404 error. It is? I guess no one really clicks on it to find out. Here we go. Hey, Sonic. Hopefully that works. Maybe because you're in Canada? You should be able to see it. I shouldn't be blocked in Canada. Yeah, let me try my own link. Make sure it works. Yeah, no, it works. I'll like my own stream. But yeah, did it work? I subscribed. I need to wait 5 minutes to chat. That's fair. That's fair. That's okay. Yeah, so I don't actually get notifications when someone subscribes. She's kind of weird. But, you know, that is what it is. It has something called stream health, and I'm like, what does that mean? Yeah, no, I made it because I don't have anything prepared for YouTube chat to try and stop bots, so my attempt at trying to stop bots, like this bot, go away, is basically to turn on subscriber only mode, so you only have to be subscribed for 5 minutes in order to send it, because there's less of a chance of the bots trying to jump into my my chat. But yeah. That's all good. Look, 5 minutes is 5 minutes. It's fine. It's no rush. You don't have to talk in both chats. You can choose one, whichever one is easiest for you. There's a lot more flexibility with Twitch chat. I will be honest, that is true. It is much more flexible. It has a lot more emojis, and we have the channel emotes as well. But if YouTube is much easier for you, if you have like the paid YouTube thing where you can play it in the background, like that, you can do that too. Like if that's easier, you know. This is literally I'm just trying it out at the moment, and it's not going to hurt me or anyone for like doing this. So we take that. I have dinner. Nice. Hot. So yummy. So I've added tech support to the call. We have Ernest here helping me moderate YouTube. We found out. Yeah, he's on YouTube. Doesn't mean he's moderating.
Moderating in name only. No, you know.
We just found out that Ernest this whole time hasn't been subscribed to my YouTube channel.
Yeah, no, I thought I did. But apparently I was just watching the VODs while unsubscribed.
God damn it, you're one of those, like, 50% of viewers unsubscribe.
Where's that you boys were too quick to jump on that.
Planning to host a short D&D session with friend for the first time. Gonna be reading the rulebook soon. Ooh, good luck, Sonny. Let us know how you go. If you need any help or tips, just let us know. Me and Ern are pretty qualified, I'd say.
Oh.
No?
No, I'm not qualified. What do you mean?
For a second, we thought that I was banned in Canada because Unforgiven clicked the link and got a 404 error.
Would be your luck.
It would be. Dude, my luck has been shit lately. So, what do you think of all of this streaming to YouTube, to Kick, to Twitter? When did the Twitter streaming even start?
A long while back. It's been a while back because I've got a few artists that I follow that do it.
Oh yeah, your Muzza can help you out as well. There's quite a number of us that are DMs.
Yeah.
Finally, it's so weird, right?
Does your YouTube link in your bio work?
It should.
What do you mean by it should?
That's the one that Unforgiven clicked and it didn't work. So you're welcome to try it, Haggis. You had to trim it down for it to work? It should work. Do you just get an error if you click it outright? Unforgiven says, I watched some video explaining why D&D never took off in Japan. They had a thing called Sword World. A D&D like tabletop game. Sounds cool. Take the numbers off your name in the URL. I will hit you up if I get stuck or confused. Yes, yes. Good luck, Sonic. I have full faith you'll be perfectly fine. And remember, improv is your plan B.
No, improv is your plan A, let's be honest.
Yeah.
No matter what you do, your players will always find a way.
Prepare for the unprepared. Prepare for nothing. Prepare for everything. Notes can be helpful, but are usually not needed. Don't be nervous, because remember, everyone's there to have fun.
Yeah.
That didn't help me at all. I'm just like, I'm usually quite nervous with things. Funnily enough, I was not nervous being a DM. If anything, I was more worried about them judging my ability to be a DM because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. But I had full faith that my players were just gonna fuck around and have fun regardless of what I said.
I just said fuck it, whatever happens, happens. I didn't even think about whether it would be, you know, like good or not.
Is the Suicide Squad thing campaign almost done? No.
I wish.
Dude, it was meant to be done so long ago. But I had to cancel session last Friday because,
the entire...
It was only Earnest free. I have like 6-7 players, and only Earnest was free. Ugh.
I have...
Where could I get pre-made campaigns with preset characters? Like short ones? I'm not sure. I make them myself. That's what I did. I don't know about you.
Pre-made campaigns with preset characters?
Mm.
I don't know about preset characters, but there are modules to the D&D like base thing, where you have different campaigns and stories that are already pre-made. One of them is like, what was it, Styles Castle or something like that, or the Underdark, all that shit. You know, I'm not too good on the D&D modules because I played base. I never had enough money to get the rest. Mind you, this is during a time where it was difficult to find things for free.
Yeah. If your bin of shame is overflowing, I remember. Yeah, it's very much overflowing for sure. isn't there a D&D online or something?
Yeah, D&D Beyond.
Yeah, D&D Beyond.
I remember the
Dude,
fucking...
but that shit's so expensive.
Yeah, that's true.
That's why I just made it myself.
I'm just reminded of a video going, D&D Beyond, where you can still be fumbling around with your character sheet without pencil and paper this time. Oh,
I know, maybe Muzza can give some advice.
I'm sure there's a free one. Yeah, no, there's
It's free, but
there's-
remember, like,
don't
if you
remember.
want to... Alright, here's the thing that I learned, right? When I tried, like, original D&D, they went and...
How do levels work?
I'm telling a story here.
Sonic's ask.
Give me a second,
Okay,
alright?
Go on.
So, we went on there, and I'm like, oh, that race sounds so cool. Oh, sorry, you can't have that race, because that's a paid race. I'm like, what do you mean it's a paid race?
I remember my DM was like, oh, you don't you have that, like, that book? It's like, no, I don't have that. What book do you have? I have the player's hand, like,
Player's guide.
yeah. It's insane. He goes like, just that? Yeah, that's the only thing I could afford. he sent me. It's like, all right, here's a list of
Yeah,
races.
my first DM was like, okay, we'll make your character on my account. I brought every expansion. I'm like, okay. But it means that I never had access to it, so that's a problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
When making your own characters, how do levels work?
all right. So, for characters, level kind of matters, but it doesn't at the same time. It all depends on you. At higher levels, as you'd expect, more difficult spells and resistances and all of that get introduced. So, since this will be your first time, try like start at a low level,
Mm.
and you could start at level 1 if you really wanted to, but it all is dependent
Okay,
on the...
this is like, if you want to go with D&D, then they have all of that laid out for you. You don't have to
Yeah.
worry about it. It's predetermined. But if you want to make your own characters and your own, like, special way of doing them, then that changes things, because you have a lot more freedom on how you want to make it, whether you can base it off certain video games.
Yeah, and there's
Oh.
also which version of D&D are you going for?
Mm,
Are you going for version like the newest one, or D&D like 3.5, 3,
Yeah.
2, 1?
Muzza says, me and my mates just use the free wiki and make our own campaigns.
Yeah, basically.
He says, I'll post one of my intros I made for one of my campaigns. If you want seasons, feel free to read it on stream. Alright, sweet. Yeah, chuck it in the Discord. That's one thing YouTube you'll miss out on, because I don't have any links. I have nothing set up for YouTube. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you better probably.
I will add descriptions eventually, where it'll have the links to the Twitch, it'll have links to Discord, all of that. But one day, just
One
not
day.
tonight.
Just not tonight.
That's why the Sword World thing is more popular. It was like a fifth of the price of D&D. God
Yeah.
damn. This is
Yeah,
why
it is.
Pathfinder has been better for customizations.
Yeah.
Oh, you posted it? Sweet, let me have a look.
So yeah.
Why do I have a message from Haggis?
So basically, if you want to do since this is your first time, I'd recommend you to play at a lower level, basically. If you start at a lower level, it introduces you to many different things. Do not, for the love of God, do not trust your DM's guide for was it the encounters thing. It is incorrect. I'll be honest with you.
What's this?
There's the thing where there's encounter levels. We're like, oh, they're a group of level 3, so they can fight this monster. I will say this, that is bullshit. A lot of the monsters, a lot of the things, they're much more unbalanced against the
Hey, Yuku.
players a lot of the time. Because I honestly I don't know why. But one thing's for sure. Start at a low level. How you gain levels is dependent on you, whether you want to try going via achievements or milestones leveling, where if you reach a certain part, then you level, or you go by XP, in which like, oh, if they kill things, if they fight more, they get more XP. That is all dependent on you which one you want to go for. But I would recommend as a new DM, start with the milestone leveling.
I used to do
XP points.
I used to do XP points.
Yeah.
It was a pain in the ass.
Yeah, no, I used to do that as well.
And then I changed to milestones. And then it was still pretty pain in the ass.
Pretty pain in the ass.
But now I do a mix of milestones with goals.
Yeah.
So instead of it being milestones as in like, alright, you reach a certain point in the story, no, mine's more of I split it into 2 different systems. Lock some things behind rank that require actual like dedication and, you know, you pay attention, you do this shit. Or story, where you'll get the levels and you'll get stronger, but you don't get like the extra skills or the specialty skills and stuff. And I locked it behind like checkpoints that the players know exist and they have to try and reach. So it's a little bit better. I'll be right back. Apologies about that. Sorry, I got cold. I am back. So we can finish answering questions.
I've typed it down. But basically, if you start a new campaign with the same characters, you can carry on the levels, carry over the levels. Or if you want, you can give a reason as to why they go back to level 1 kind of situation. It all depends on you, whether you want to start a new campaign with the same characters, or you want to start a new campaign with new characters. And if you chose the first one, you can have them revert back a level depending. If you're the DM, this is your rules.
Yeah, your call. At the end of the day, if the book doesn't the book doesn't have an answer for you, then you need to make a decision.
Or if the answer in the book is not what you like, you make your own answer.
Yeah, the DM, you get to. You're the director. It's your call.
Your movie, your call.
Your movie, your call. Did the be right back screen? Oh, this isn't a be right back. So this is the new beginning soon screen. It just looks a lot better than the be right back screen currently, because this is currently the be right back screen. All right. Like, you can't blame me. Like, compared to like everything else, it's starting to look real like in need of renovate. It looks like they're renovating. We'll be right back. This is actually, I want to try and change this. I want to try and make it better. That's the whole reason for this. I did not skip that. I've had so much that. Yeah. So what else? Questions? What other questions do we have that? So if you start a new campaign with the same character, it'll start at level 1 again. Yeah, basically. And it depends on the story, depends on the DM. The campaign that I played, they started me at level 5, and then recently, what level did we start with Lavender's session? It wasn't level 1, that's for sure.
Level 3, I think.
Yeah.
Level 3 or 6, one of them.
Some DMs go, I hate early game, so they skip you and they give you a couple levels to help you sort of adjust and have access to most of your skills, so you're not entirely useless.
Because some classes, they start having their class stuff at level 2.
Yeah,
or
like
even level 3.
If you've ever played Baldur's Gate, right?
It's very simple.
And you've got the first couple levels in comparison to before. You know, that's the kind of difference we're looking at here. Gotcha. All right, sweet. But yeah. Did anyone end up trying that YouTube link to make sure it works? The early levels are the build-up stage for RP and story. To me, early levels are important. Yeah. And again, it's each to their own situation. For me, for my system, right? Early levels is definitely that sort of learning curve. You don't get new skills from mine. That's the thing. You get new skills from ranking up and getting the portals, collecting the portals. When you go up in adventure rank, that's when you get new skills. That's when you get updates to previous skills.
That is for seasons.
This is my specific system, right? My TRPG system in QRA. So that's the skill upgrades. So skills don't sort of, it doesn't impact things as much. It gives people to really have to think about the skills they have and how they want to use them. It also makes people invest in their weapons and their armor and work together as a team and try and find that team dynamic, I find. But that's just the way that it works with my players the best. It doesn't mean that it works for everyone. I removed the numbers and it worked. Alright, Alright, where's fucking Twitch? Let me fix this.
Speaking of, fucking 733 for the entirety of the D&D books, basically.
That's fucked.
It makes sense. They have it over the years.
Duplicate. Back to your channel, right? Okay. What the fuck is the plus program? That's new.
What's a plus?
I don't know. That's art, YouTube. All right. Okay, I really just need to get a brand new YouTube link. All right, hold on. Shit. Oh, there we go. I can just put my fucking username. That's so much fucking easy. YouTube, why are you a piece of shit sometimes? Alright, someone click on that YouTube link and try it out for me. Did I save it? Oh, please tell me I saved it. I didn't. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Submit. Alright, now someone click on it and try and see if it works. D&D owners are very scummy when it comes to selling their stuff. It's like extra just for the brand. Yeah, I was looking at like, oh, I went into like EB Games or some shit, right? So like, some game shop, right? And I went in there and I'm like, oh, that looks sick. That looks so cool. Like it's got D20s on it. And then I move it slightly to the side and I see that it's got the D&D logo and I'm like, well, this shit's gotta be so fucking expensive. I gently put it back on the shelf. Look down, price tag, about 60, 70 bucks for a, like, it was like a lunchbox or a fucking drink bottle or some shit. So I found this website called Roll20. Yes. Yes, Unforgiven. Yeah, I think that link worked. Roll20 is good? Yeah. Yeah. Ernest, do you mind clicking on that link, the YouTube link underneath my Twitch? Do you have it open?
Out of mod view, but
Oh.
sure.
No, you just... Do you?
I don't have your descriptions as a mod.
Oh, I never knew that.
Let me just...
Me and my mates now use Forge. Oh, okay. Roll20, that's a program, right? Technically? Is it classed as a program?
It brings me directly to your channel, yeah.
Alright, sweet. That's what I want. Ignore the Discord message? Well, no, I have to check the Discord message.
Well, Trigger, I would, but currently I'm helping seasons. Usually I would.
Why did it put numbers? My link didn't have numbers.
You too. What do you mean put numbers?
Oh no, after my YouTube, like, if you click the link in the bio, it puts numbers after it. And the numbers don't work. Because that's not my channel. Alright, so Muzza posted the intro into the creative area there. Do you reckon I should read it, right? Or do I get Ern to read it in his special voice?
In my special voice? What the fuck does that mean?
Special voice.
Special.
Not that special. My god.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Oh, me? It's a female saying this? Oh, okay, alright. I didn't know that.
Alright, let me put on twink
voice.
No, I'm not. Fuck that.
Terrible. Okay. So what is this for? Is this just your introduction to your sessions? Like whenever you start a new campaign, or is it just every session you read this? Is it like the title screen recap?
Find that hammer fall. What?
Only now you search that up?
Yeah, but I still haven't searched it. So.
Okay, yeah. I think, you have one of these as well, right? You don't write it down though.
Depends whether I want to or.
It was an old campaign I did years ago. All right. Well, I'll read it, and you'll probably get flashbacks to when I remember when I first played underneath first played your session, and you gave this kind of spiel. Years and years worth of notes. Oh, good God.
I remember those days. Now they're thrown into the wind.
The paper's literally thrown into the wind.
not the things themselves. No, it's the paper.
Alright. At first there was nothing. Then there was me. I could see nothing but endless darkness. Within this darkness, light comes to mind. I'm gonna try to ignore chat. With this light, I forged a sun. The sun showed how empty the darkness was. So I opened my arms and gave birth to a world. At first, the world was full of lava, and slowly it cooled, becoming water. From the water, continents rose up, and within those lands, regions were created. The regions were covered by the desert, the forest, the grass, by the hills and the mountains that rose up to form its face. Clouds drew together, rains fell, and rivers flowed with fresh water. And the lands grew wetter as the rivers carved their way from beneath the crust of the world's skin. Precious resources came to place within its body. Lesser species evolved and ranged across them. And as all of these lived and grew and died, they left their traces. Lastly, for my two children of order and chaos, I gave them seats to watch over this world. Just like the species have given themselves titles, I bestow the title of God to my son Elon, Eon, the god of chaos, and the title of goddess to my daughter Venmera, the goddess of order. For the species I sowed places where my bounties could be easily reaped. Bounties in minerals, in magic, in wealth of the soil. And my brain immediately went to Australia's fucking national anthem. And when all was ready and I saw that the world was rich, only then I left to start anew. Do not fear, my children, and the species they watch over. I am still here. The darkness became light, and the light showed nothing. And the nothing gave birth to your world. And the lava became water, the shape became land, and the land became rich, and remember, all of that is me. It's nice. It's a very long run-on sentence at the end, but it's nice. Certain phrases, ADHD brain kicking in, so don't mind that. What did I join back to chat? What the fuck? Why do I always fall for the clickbait of Torchlight? The game looks like arse. It looks nice, I guess. What kind of bedtime story did I join into? I was trying to give it a motherly feel. That's fair. That's fair. It definitely does give that feeling. For sure. A little bit. My instinct is to go like, okay, I'll try and critique it and fix it. But I'm like, it doesn't need really, like, it's everyone does it differently. And I remember, like, I have to remind myself the fact that writing and, like, writing stuff like this, writing stories and sort of collating things into a sort of a story-like way that presents things the way I, like, with the emotions and everything that I want. I'm used to doing that. I've done that for years. And of course I would explain things differently because of my own experiences, but it's really good. So you started like your campaigns like that? Oh, that one campaign, sorry, like that? I'd never really given anything like that. I think I have like an old story written somewhere from one of my fucking A. Oh my god. Welcome. I have a lot of stories that I've read that were like very similar to that. I wonder if I can find them. This is less of an art stream and just more of a chatting stream, I'll be honest. And the more we keep talking, the less I feel like art.
Yeah.
Yes, yep. Let's see if I can find one of these stories. That I can read out. I have so much more stuff too. I'd believe it. Dude, I 100% wholeheartedly believe it. Reddit says Psst earn league.
Do you not see I am currently live season?
Bam, 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 bam,
I
bam.
could.
That was fast.
Dude, I wanna play some.
I made the mistake of trying to write a book while doing my thesis. Hey, rookie mistake.
That is a terrible idea, my friend.
Tis an art stream, no? It's a chatting stream now. I did write 90k words though. That is a book, isn't it? 90. How many words are in a book?
Not 10k, that's for sure. Well, no, technically. It depends on what you see as a book.
The story I wrote was indeed longer than my thesis.
Yeah, no, I had the same problem. I did
It's
exactly
so much
that.
easier to write a book.
Oh, God. Let it be forever forgotten. No one shall remember.
Alright, Muzzle, let me see if I can find one of my... I have, dream campaigns that I put a lot of that kind of stuff into. Like, the story. Oh, here we go. Very, very similar, right? Alright, let me read this to you. This was, for... I think it was one of the ruin quests that Leon did.
Oh yeah, was it Home of the Ancients?
Yeah, Home of the Ancients, Abode of the Ancients, yeah. You don't have to, in text, reference your own thoughts. Fair. Oh god, I wasn't able to send messages on phone on Twitch. Good luck.
No,
I'm all ears.
they could.
Okay. It goes for almost about the same length, probably a little bit longer. And what's roll 20? Someone else can explain that. Because I'm not entirely sure. Is roll 20 like the thing we use for, like, Owlbear?
No, it's in an online... I don't know what roll 20 is. It sounds fun. If I see it, it probably triggers something, but...
So, someone else can help you out with that question, Sonic. I'm sorry. Before there was humans, elves, fairies, even such a place as the Enchanted Forest, there was once an ocean and a sky. The two shared a consciousness, a path between the two of them that over time continued to ebb and flow, growing to sizes unimaginable. The consciousness grew so big it created its own structure, the start of the land that would come to be known as home. Oh, there you go. There's your answer. It's a free online app for tabletop RPG. It's a website you can play D&D on. It's free. It's a TNT RPG hosting website that has materials, make tools, whatnot for RPG online. Roll20 is a site used to host maps online. Alright. All of you. My god.
Did you know that
Roll20 is a site online that you can use for D&D, TRG. I've never used it. I have assets for it. I don't use it though. That's hilarious. You guys are amazing. Like, genuinely, you're great. Alright. Start of the land that would become to be known as home. Home was a small island filled with soft green grass and one tree, the Tree of Seasons. The tree gave new energy to the consciousness, leading it to twist and contort as if slowly separating from itself. A spark of lightning from the sky was the final piece to separate them out of their mitosis. Upon the land now lay two figures, a male and a female, the first two. The man awoke and, seeming as might from hope and life, rushed to help the woman who still lay asleep, healing her back to consciousness. The link re-established with the ocean and sky, and then she woke. The two communicated using their consciousness of the home and sky, before one day, after chasing each other around the field, she'd come up with an idea. Scooping up water from the sea, she shaped it into a bird, in which he gave it life and created a bluebird. They watched it fly around happily tweeting, and she made another one to keep it company. The two figures aimlessly began creating creatures and animals of all sorts to help pass the time. Each time a new animal was added to the land, it would grow with the consciousness of the ocean and sky. One day, after growing tired of making new animals, the man decided to surprise the woman with a sculpture from the earth of herself, and with his power of life, the giant race was born. She smiled at the gift and was quick to try and surprise him back, taking a handful of the air and mixing it with leaves of the tree of seasons. The first fairy species was born. He attempted to recreate her magical creature of fairies, but couldn't keep a hold of the air, instead making the creatures out of the tree of seasons and the earth. The elven race was born. Attempting to push the limits of their powers, she convinced him to make a giant who was smaller, much smaller than the fairies or the elves, and without the magic of the tree of seasons. And thus, the dwarven race was born. A period of time passed, and the home grew to almost half of the size it is today, each species living in harmony with each other under the rule of the two gods. The two gods were separated from each other in order to manage the many life forms that they had created in their time there. It got to such a point that Mikael and Blaze were forcefully kept apart by their followers in fear of their reuniting. One day got too much for Blaze, and she snuck away from her people. Mikael was told by his followers that Blaze had disappeared, and he grieved his lost love for many years, unconsolable. One day, when the sun was newly born in the sky, a soft rain fell, their shared consciousness crying with him, giving birth to the first rainbow. From out behind the clouds, a more grown version of Blaze stepped out from the sky's consciousness. Mikael's power flooded the land with hope and life, giving birth to the first humans, as the two embraced once more. The two, after being so long apart, decided to partake in the rituals they had freely given to their followers, the binding of hearts in an oath of love, the ancient rites of marriage. They covered their faces and bodies in white and gold pigments, memorizing magic swirls that would bond their hearts and souls together forevermore, both wearing white and blue of the sky and ocean's consciousness. They were united as king and queen of home, a partnership to be honored above all. Seeing they were now forever bound, they were in fear of the day they wouldn't be able to hold their crowns. In search of a legacy to keep them remembered, they searched home for people who had what it took to continue their legacy. And one night, while they were walking, the sky's consciousness became clouded, covered in the static of purple. Lightning struck the ground repeatedly, sending chaos magic into the land. The new gods didn't understand what this meant, but soon found themselves racing to a nearby shed for cover as the magic rain fell, releasing daggers of jagged purple stones from the sky. Inside the shed, Mikael lit a small fire for the two of them, but Blaze was distracted by a new sound they hadn't heard before, and could barely hear over the rain. At the back of the shed were a pair of newborn twins, one lying pale and cold, the other crying and hysterical. A mark of black on the back of the hand of the blonde-haired boy, with a brown streak at the side, who lay cold and pale. A mark of white on the back of the hand of the brown-haired boy, with a blonde streak on the side, who lay crying. The inverse to his twin brother. Unable to find their parents, Blaze believing it to be fate, the two gods took in the brothers, raising them as their own. One named Dianima, Death, and the other named Animus, Dream. And thus, that is the story of the Death Keeper and the Dream Keeper that you see in my system.
Oh yeah, my son, Death. My fucking god.
Such myth, such creation, wow. You know what's really funny about that though? That entire story is fake. And I don't mean fake as in like I just made it up. No, I mean it's fake as in the world, historians fucked up and recorded it wrong because they're biased. Because the history books got forcefully changed. Several times. So in actual fact, it wasn't Mikael and Blaze that were the first two gods that were created. It was actually Mikael and his brother, Exon, that were created as inverses of each other. And Blaze was created after that. That's how that happened. But the history books don't want to acknowledge that because they don't want to admit that chaos is meant to be a part of the world. That's the whole like story of it all. So, yeah. I do miss reading my stories and this and that. Like Set and Ra or Horus. I don't know much about that, I'll be honest.
Yeah, kind of.
Is it?
Kind
of. Can you explain them, Anne?
No, you have the internet and there it comes.
No, I don't trust the internet.
Well, that's as much as internet.
But yeah, it is a meta-mythic motive that order and chaos are paired, with chaos being adversarial but not inherently evil. It seems to be a common theme in a lot of things. It is also just a part of life. Ad break. You guys enjoy. But look, if you're over on YouTube, you probably don't have an ad break right now, so hi, YouTube!
So hi! Quickly, switch over.
Quickly, you're gonna have both open. Imagine they have, like, the same, ad break at the same time, and it just is all luck. Ancient Egypt stuff. I know I like Ancient Egypt, but I know jack shit about it. Like, genuinely. Like, it's always been something that I've been interested in, but I've never been able to find good enough books that go into, like, the kind of detail that I want, because a lot of the time I'm, like, reading, and then they're like, so here's all of the pharaohs. I'm like, but I'm not looking for the pharaohs. Without order, chaos can't exist, and vice versa. Yeah, no, exactly. Exactly. So, Mikael in my system, Mikael is life and hope. He's the god of life, basically. So, it's a case of you can't have life without chaos. And, of course, Exon is the god of chaos. And technically, the god of cycles, but that's like a lesser enforced part of his title. Ra is the sun god, Set is his shadow, and Horus is the son of Ra. See, all the names and everything you're saying sounds familiar, but I can't remember shit.
You should remember it.
I got my neck fixed, so now my neck is hurting again.
Maybe it's the way you sit.
From Yu-Gi-Oh? Yeah, I probably remember it from Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, I'm not sitting any differently than I was before. Like, I guess I could, like, sit back in my chair.
You haven't been?
No, I've been sitting forward in my chair.
Why? That's bad posture.
It's... The fucking seat is annoying as fuck. I feel so far away from you guys now. Order provides structure to the primordial creative potential of chaos, allowing civilizations to evolve. Structure cut off from such energy calcifies. Chaos without structure cannot form anything permanent. I'll stop now. No, A, it's fine. You can continue on your little nerd. You can go down the nerd path.
You continue out the nerd.
I like it. It's fun to read. That reminds me, I ran into someone named Joey Wheeler in Final Fantasy the other day.
Oh yeah, you found him too?
That's funny. Dude, Yu-Gi-Oh was great. Like first season Yu-Gi-Oh. I never really saw the other ones. I once wrote a mythic cycle in the style of a poorly translated fragment. My brain was hurting while trying to compose it.
Don't blame you.
My brain hurts trying to read that. Just trying to make sense, comprehend what that might have been like. I can share if you'd like. Yeah, sure. If it hurts my brain too much, I'll get Ern to read it.
Why?
Because you seem to have more brain cells running at the moment.
Yeah, and they're preoccupied.
Preoccupied.
I don't have the luxury.
I do like 40k lore, the war of order and chaos, not just good and evil. Yeah, like that's the whole thing for like my system, right? Is I wanted it to be chaos is seen as an evil thing, but chaos is technically a necessary part of life. The unpredictability is necessary for evolution, as A said earlier. Okay. I'm gonna actually try and read this, alright?
How long?
It's not that long. No, you can read this. You can read this, Ern.
What? Why?
Because it contains words and stuff that I'm gonna fuck up.
Alright, where am I reading?
It's a creative area on the Discord.
Day was dawning in the dream walls of the people's house, and the people's house was glorious to behold. The middle realm prospered and stood paramount to the Axis Mundi, for the grasp of cold lightning and old gods had passed, and the other war was won by the island's breaking arms, for their victory was absolute and triumph theirs to extrapolate. By the walking ways of the liminal path, the island left the world and bestowed it the last key to peace. There were the days of prelude in the middle realm, a time of plenty for people's house and the house of diviners. Both houses were blessed by the growth of domain and cultivation, but two were named Flow Sculptor and Wind Rider. Strikers of earthly ego and fellers of peace, thought and crooked walls. The two scoped gods. I'm sorry. Let me just move this to my screen so it's actually
big enough.
Yeah. The two scoped gods of the people's house made war of many colors and brought forth a rending to the house of diviners. They took the blood hook and marching arts of man and made war in the way of both houses. The rage dance of their gore song was splendid to behold, an articulate will that entranced the lusted eye of gods and man. In lust and grief, hunger of the nations of man pulled in the rending, and tore the house of diviners apart by the ribs. And thus began the third divine. That was the rending of all hope. The word of beginning is Tamay.
Give it to the guy that has English as his second language. I feel like English is just your 1.5 language.
My 1.5 language? What does that mean?
You learned it the same as you learned your other first language.
I learned all three languages of mine in like one go.
Okay, so it's not 1.5, it's 1.2. No, wait, 1.33.
And I'm good at none of them. Again,
you should probably say mediocre at all of them.
For all you Bruneian, aka for you lots that are friends with me, y'all should be better at Bruneian than I am. I am outside the country. I don't want any more of this. Like, what's the Malay for this? What's the Bruneian word for this? Like, brother, I've been out of school for how many years? First. Second, I haven't spoken Malay in how long? Very long.
There's 10k words of this? Fuck it out. Good god, eh? I can see how your brain melted.
I could
Trying
have
to write
probably
it.
read that better if I.
Damage of the brain. I indeed do be writing. Doobie. Doobie. What else can we chat about?
Hours.
Because I'm still not feeling like art right now. Unless you guys want to like help me plan for what to do for my Be Right Back screen, like actually help me plan. Right, what was your idea for the Be Right Back screen? I forgot.
A very artistic piece of.
Artistic.
Yes, it includes lines and colors.
And squiggles.
No squiggles.
Just lines?
Yes.
So square.
Not all lines are linear.
But no squiggles?
No. Because you don't have curves.
I feel like I'd have some squiggles.
Yeah, that's a massive pause there, as if you were either A, figuring that out yourself.
Look, my brain is slow right now. I heard that the best writers usually study ancient mythology because those stories are primal human emotions usually. Ancient people trying to make sense of the world, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd believe it. Look,
not just mythology, just history in general.
It's stories of old. I'd say stories of old.
I'd say rather than studying, it's more of interpreting the stories of.
Yeah.
Seeing it how you could be able to like show it to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Because you have writers that do not do such a thing. Doesn't mean they're good at it, but yeah.
Yeah. I will say that the whole segment I wrote does make sense to me. History and mythology are in some instances very closely
They are
intermingled.
very closely intermingled.
Yes. Especially the further back you go, the more closer they are intermingled. Like I'm in
Though on that note though, can I say one thing?
Go for it.
It is so funny to think that one day people will look at shit posts and might think it's like a reality of how people like indicated to how we acted back in the days.
True.
It's unfortunate, but you know what else can.
Oh yeah, so Amagura says like the Epic of Gilgamesh.
Yeah, the Epic of Gilgamesh is great. Like a story of Odysseus.
You know what's funny? If we think about it, right? Technically, what's that game you play that had all of the like historical people?
No, fucking Fate.
Yeah,
the Fate
is part of that now.
Oh god, that's terrible.
Fate is part of that now.
Nero is a female. No, well, I guess yes, but no. Oda Nobunaga acts like a middle school child. Oh no.
Brett's suggestion for Be Right Back is have 3 separate cards on the table that make up an image and have a word on each card saying Be Right Back or something.
Just imagine in 1,000 years people thinking Captain America was an epitaph
for George Washington. My god. Oh, that Steve Irwin was like a
legendary,
a mythical like person, hero of Australia.
Ted Bundy.
Nah. Nah.
Oh, that's terrible. That's so terrible.
Imagine someone tries deciphering fate lore like actual history and seeing the Holy Grail War.
Dude.
What about Crocodile Dundee? We don't even. Steve Irwin, Slayer of the Great Dragon of the Creek.
No.
Yes.
No. How his life ended was when he fought a dragon in the ocean to save children. Oh god, that's terrible. Yeah, it's also true.
Slayer of the Great Dragon of the Creek. and then
No, no, he
victim
wouldn't
of
be
the great
Slayer. He would be the Tamer. He would be
the tamer of the great dragons of the creek.
Yeah, there you go. The multiple great dragons.
Dragons. That's why he's so legendary. Imagine writing Steve Irwin's story as like Holy Grail, like King
Dude,
Arthur.
I'm
Old
pretty sure
English.
Fate is thinking about adding Steve Irwin into the fucking thing.
The fuck? Why?
Why not? Give it a few more years. He'll be in there. He hasn't reached the at least, how many years has it been now?
It's been quite a number.
How many years exactly?
That'll be a Google question, not a me question. When did Steve Irwin die?
4th of September 2006. All right.
2006.
Yep. In the
Nearly
year
20 years ago.
Yep.
That's
And here's the
fucking
thing. In the Fate series, 20 years is the minimum years required to be part of a heroic spirit.
Oh my fucking
To be
god.
introduced.
My fucking god. Steve Irwin can be the new fake character.
I would be so down to see how they fucking.
Fate is nuts. Doesn't even make sense in his own universe.
Yeah, not the Nasuverse doesn't make sense in its own Nasuverse.
I'm surprised they got away with it, I'll be honest.
What do you mean? It's just historical figures. No one can claim it.
Yeah, no, but I mean in terms of story.
In terms of story, who would want to deal with that when you can just have sexy anime waifus fight to the death?
With
Or-
old man names.
Yeah. Oda Nobunaga, looking like a fine ass model over there. God, she's still
The
the
fuck?
Avenger, the red-haired version, not the young.
Let's just stop while you're ahead. You don't have to dig this hole any deeper for yourself.
No, I will embrace it. Much like I'll embrace her.
Oh my fucking god! It's fucking terrible.
Giguk tried to explain the Fate timeline and it broke his brain. He did.
I think I tried to get Ern to explain it to me once because I've never really played a Fate game.
You know how I explain it? It's just like if you think historical figures as waifus and husbands. That's all I can say.
The Epic of Gilgamesh is actually really touching in its grappling with the question of mortality and legacy.
Yes.
It's actually an amazing narrative that so much of it has survived to today. In a way, Gilgamesh's legacy has outlived him by 3,000 years. That's fucking nuts.
That's a reason why he's the first hero.
That's crazy.
Isn't- I don't think we have anything else older than the Gilgamesh.
I'd never really heard of him until you started mentioning him. Actually, it wasn't even you brought him up because of Fate.
Oh yeah, no, it's just a funny joke between me and
Oh, it is the oldest story ever written.
Yeah,
There you
it's
go.
the oldest. Was it written?
Documented.
Documented, I guess. Written.
That's crazy.
Written is wrong. Yeah.
It was on a slab in Iraq.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And to think there's 300 years missing in our history.
Mm-hmm.
We could be actually living in the 1700 boys.
Yeah.
There's that theory.
Yeah, no, there's that whole theory of it's the church or something like that. They just no, it's the Romans, right? They're like, that number isn't significant enough. We're gonna up it by 300 or some shit.
Yeah.
It contains the oldest attested recounting of the flood myth, which exists in a lot of cultures over the world.
Yep.
It was destroyed a few years ago by ISIS or something. Wait, seriously? Jeez.
Yeah, not a good time. Honestly.
No. It's so interesting how like some big events that happened way back in the day is like documented in lots of places, but people still go, no, that didn't happen. Like, how the fuck would you know? You weren't alive.
I have a past life where none of that shit happened. Okay.
Good for you.
Good for you. So how do you explain all that shit that happened in our history?
Like, it's hard to like fathom it thinking back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm tired. Bedtime. All right. Have a good sleep, mother.
Good night, old man.
Good night.
I should say. Good night, Muzza. Have a good rest.
like trying to put it in like consequential order, right? Like the history of how things happen. Like, okay, so when the when did ancient Egypt happen? Because that everyone goes, oh, that's older than so many things.
Wait. Right, there was a thing that like tickled my brain for a bit, right? And technically, you can have a samurai, a pirate, a crusade was it a crusader,
Yeah.
and one other thing. They can all be like in one place at a one time because all that period of time is within the same like within a certain period of their time.
Yeah,
So
yeah, they were all.
a cowboy. There you go.
Yeah, they all overlapped at the exact same time.
Yeah, so you could have a samurai, a cowboy, a crusader, and a what did I say? One other one.
Yeah.
In a single party, and it still be historically accurate.
In the Epic of Gilgamesh, he meets a man named Set that had a ark with 2 of every animal. That was written like 1500 years before the Bible.
Yeah, and like that's the same. Like in Islam, that's one of our prophets as well that had 2 of every animal during a flood.
Oh, can I tell you something funny? Right, so because you know how I've been up at the hospital recently because
Yeah.
family stuff, right? In every hospital here and hotel room, at just about any place where you can stay overnight, they have a Bible in one of the drawers. You don't get to take it home; it stays there permanently. But like, you know, in case you want to lie to read, right? I got curious, going, fuck it. I haven't opened and read the Bible for a while. I opened it for the first page, and I'm like, this will be interesting because the Bible was called the New Testament. And by the way, it just was called the New Testament. It wasn't even 100% complete Bible. It was just a part of it. And the first line, I shit you not, and I was very confused.
I feel like a lot of people were.
It was something along the lines of, Jesus Christ, the son of Abraham, the son of
The son
Isaac,
of David. Yeah.
and the, something of someone else, right? I'm like, okay, so he was born of 2 fathers now? Is that what's in the Bible now? Is that the New Testament? The New Testament is that Jesus is born from 2 gay men.
No, I don't think that's how that's meant to be taken. I think it means like, oh, son of this person is meaning like kin, the kin of that person, kind of like a lineage thing.
That means that they're related.
That's how they want to be seen, I guess.
Dude was called but basically, yes, he was called by the gods to build an ark to contain a bunch of animals and families. He was blessed with immortality, which is he's kind of getting tired of. Fair. The term son of Abraham is poetic form to describe the Jews, the Israelites.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But like
It was
the
it's
way
funny when
the
you think
way
of it
it,
that
the
way.
way it was written and the way it read, it did not sound like that at all. It did not sound like that at all. It's kind of it's just reading it in modern English makes it a little funnier. Yes, it does. But like this is like a very modernized book. It had slang in the first few pages, right? It was appealing to the newer generation so that they would read it. So that combined with the first page being that, it really just did not bode well. It was really not good.
I can't wait to see a version of the Bible where there is literally like this is gonna sound bad,
Mm-hmm.
but like I think it was in Old Testament. Was it in Old Testament that gays were not or something? I don't know. Where did this like gays are like a sin, being a sin part for the Bible and stuff? 'Cause
It was never, I don't think it was ever explicitly stated. I think it was an implied sin. Because
Implied sin.
yeah, it's a thing.
Not to be questioned with the factorial fucking
Yeah,
sin.
because you have like the slayed out, like, you know, the sins that you should not, like, the fuck, what there's like, my brain keeps going to seven deadly sins, but like, you know what I mean, right? They're the factorial sins. Then there's there's the
It
other,
went from
like,
Hebrew to Greek and into Latin.
implied sins,
Implied sin.
which is like, you know, if it's, you know, Adam and Eve as the first two, then it's not Adam and Steve. Like, it's that whole thing, right? Ten Commandments. I don't. It's a little bit different.
Number one.
That was Sin City when a man laid with another man. It was written in Latin. It went from Hebrew to Greek into
Sodom
Latin.
and Gomorrah? Yeah, I think something like that. But yeah, it was just... Oh, it's...
Dude, religion is just a fucking headache. It's just like a brain melt milkshake. It's almost like an insta-death.
It's almost like instant. That's...
Like, it is. It's fucking crazy. Because, like, there'd be some people that jump into the chat and they would just try and rip each of us a new one. Purely because, like, clearly we're not educated in religion. But then we think about it, like, wait, which religion are we talking about? Because it could come to... There's so many overlaps with things. Because, like, even, like, we put it plainly, right? I technically am part of one Catholic type somewhere.
Somewhere?
But, like, there's like 6-7 different churches that are all technically under the Catholic umbrella that are not Catholic. They are their own congregation of shit with their own special name. I saw a church called Love and Pride Church.
Love and Pride?
Love and Pride Church.
What does that entail?
I don't fucking know. You tell me. But, like, we compare that to, like, say, your religion,
Mm-hmm.
and then we get a whole nother weird jumbled mess of things.
Yeah.
Fun Bible fact from A. There is a missing book referenced in the Old Testament called the Book of Wars and the Book of the Wars of the Lord, were originally a southern war god.
Huh. Interesting.
Huh? Does that mean anything to you?
Yes, it does mean.
Explain.
It's like think of it as a thesis, like thing, right?
Uh-huh.
Where you put the reference as that book. That book is missing. You're referencing something that doesn't exist. Oh, I vaguely remember it because I was reading through everything at that period of time, but it's just yeah.
Because what's the name of Adam and Eve and
Adam and Hawa.
yeah. So yeah. Crazy. Like, you can see like the similarities, like the matchups. As in, the book was in the Old Testament literature until it was lost or removed.
Dude, there's plenty of like, I want to see, right, the original Bible where no priest or anything of the sort had changed anything about it. Because there's so many contradictions in some of these things. It's like there is no way those would be the words of God kind of situation.
Like, you'd think if it's the same religion, it would stay the same the whole time.
Dead Sea Scrolls?
That's a different thing.
God. Dude, just there's so many. Just trying to learn history. I love history. I love learning.
This
about
is
these games,
why I stick. I'll be honest. The mythology and part of history that I choose to look into is not much fucking better. I'm a very big sort of mythological nerd, I guess you could say, for Greek mythology, and like a little bit of the Roman, a little bit of the Egyptian, but like not as much as I am for the Greek, right? Dude, the Greek mythology when it comes to gods and stories, oh my fucking god. Some of the nonsense turnaround that's like, wait, but I thought this person was this. No, but that person is this. Wait, are they the same person? No, they're different people. Because they're described differently. Because this story and this poet says that it's this one, but this philosopher says that it's this one. There's a chance
Where the fuck did this one come from?
There's a chance they might all be the same person, just going by different names. Or
Honestly,
it could be someone did one spelling mistake one time and wrote that one O with a line rather than like this one, which doesn't have a line. Like, it could be like something as simple as that. Or they put too big of a gap between these two letters, and now it's a different word entirely.
Then just Disney just gets everything wrong in Hercules.
Wait, hold up. Hey, you've read the Dead Sea Scrolls?
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Bro.
When did you read the Dead Sea Scrolls?
Oh. Dead Sea Scrolls. And then Disney just gets everything wrong with Hercules? Yeah, basically. You have a copy on your bookshelf? How the fuck do you have just a copy on your bookshelf?
We have a copy in our book.
I have it?
Get the copy. At least let him keep his. I'll post it for you.
Alright, bet.
Dude, this also brings me back to the. Do you remember your there was something that you had that apparently doesn't exist.
Yes, actually, that's a good point. Alright, so I found this book.
Wait. Real question, should we even bring it up? Because it mysteriously disappeared.
I find this book. So there's a chance that AIM may have heard of it. Like,
oh yeah, no, that's true.
That's a possibility. Or maybe even Unforgiven might have heard of it.
Maybe anyone might be able to.
So, this book that I had, it was from like the 1800s. I believe. I can't quite remember. But, it was like old, proper, like old bound book. I had like a fascination with collecting like old books, right? This book, I have Google searched, I have gone deep dive into the internet to try and find this book's existence. I cannot find the existence of this book anywhere. Holy shit, you do have the complete collection of the Dead Sea Scrolls in English. By Penguin Classics.
What? Where you see?
I see Creative Channel on the Discord. Holy shit.
Damn.
I'm judging a handwriting on your to-do list.
Brother. That's even underneath a plate and everything. Gonna wash that plate?
Yeah. So this book is a Greek ballad. It is called The Ballad of Hades. I had this book when I was a kid. I loved it. It's my favorite book reading. I read it over and over and over again. Right?
Why was that? Do explain.
I know, it was just great. It was like literally just a bunch of poems about like a side of Greek mythology that I'd never read or thought about or heard of, that sort of stuff, right? It gave me like a different insight, a different perspective on the ballads. Doesn't mean like I agreed with all of them, but it was I loved it. It was such a great book. But something happened. And when I moved out of my parents' house and I started living on my own. I took all of my books with me. And I thought maybe I'd lost it in the way, but I'm like, no, I remember like having it. Orpheus Ballads? I don't think so. This was called The Ballad of Hades. Specifically that title, The Ballad of Hades. And it was like an untitled, like the book itself, like the side of the page, the binder, what's it called? The spine of the book didn't have like a label, I don't believe. Orpheus traveled to Tartarus and met Hades. So this was a Ballad of Hades. It was basically from Hades' perspective. It had one of the poems I remember in it was a poem to Persephone about how Hades viewed her and how he felt about her not having connection with her mother. It was like a really like, it wasn't long, it was very short, and
Gotcha.
it was, I could tell you for a fact that the book itself was not done, it was done individually. It wasn't done in like a big printing press kind of stuff. It was literally like proper typewriter kind of feel to it. Hand-bound typewriter. It was like proper like, yeah. And I cannot find it. It has been missing for, I reckon, close to 10 years.
In its place.
It hasn't. I was too scared to take it outside the house, and if I did take it outside the house, it never left my fucking bag. It stayed there. I just wish I could find it again, because I miss it. It was such a good book. I loved reading it.
It had weird spelling in it, and I'm pretty sure it had other language, like some of it was written in a different language at the bottom.
And it could have been like,
Greek.
it could have been Greek.
Younger, you wouldn't have known that, actually, yeah.
No, not at the time, no. It could have been a unique singular book. I know, and that's what I'm afraid of. Latin or Greek. I feel like it was Greek. But it could have been Latin. There's a
Do you
chance.
want to say like what the weird part about it was and how it went missing and all that? And what you found in its place instead?
So, yeah, here's the first-hand of knowledge that can be lost. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And here's the weird thing, right? I found a book in my bookshelf that I've never owned. This is the part that I can't explain. I found a book in my bookshelf that is the exact... So, by the way, the cover of The Ballad of Hades is a green leather cover. It's relatively thin. It's not too thick. It's got a gold trim. Not gold trim. It's a gold edge, like on the inside. And the title was pressed into the spine. It was just like Hades was just on the, I think, on the edge, or it was the ballad on the side. Yeah, and it was gold. Got the gold print kind of stuff. So I was like, it's pretty unique, but if you have seen a lot of books from that era, that's kind of like the normal color that they'd go for. But in my bookshelf, I found a book of poems and ballads. It's the same font. It's the similar size. It's also a green cover. Very, very similar. Actually, hold up. I'm gonna grab the book. I'm gonna check the year on it. I haven't actually properly checked the year.
Imagine you grab it. It's the book you've been wanting to read.
I swear to God.
But yeah, no. It's like it just reminds me. I vaguely remember, like, finding a book that wasn't part of the library. It was just, first and foremost, it shouldn't have been there because it was a first and foremost a primary school. That shit was thick and heavy.
Alright, so yeah, this book, it is the same, like, I'm sure you can hear that, right? It's a good, solid book. It has poem and ballad written on the side. It has written on the side, and it has the same gold sort of font. Human memories are incredibly malleable by time.
Yes.
Yes. But this book that has now been in my... it's a little bit thicker, actually, than the Ballad of Hades. It's about double the thickness. And that's why I didn't really, like, I didn't see it at first. And then when I went back, because I ended up moving house a second time, and I had to take all my books out of my bookshelf, so I searched the hell for this book. I even went back to, like, my parents' house and I searched for the book. And, no luck. Could not find this book. The only last memory I have of the book that I think is the last memory I had of the book is when I was out for lunch someplace in a big city, and I had it there and I was reading it. But then I'm thinking about it, and I remember, no, that wasn't the Ballad of Hades in my bag. That was Wordsworth's poetry instead, which is a very different book. Because I remember I was reading a poem about mermaids, and I was like, oh, this is cool. I didn't know that they wrote poems about mermaids. But that, I can't find this book for the life of me. So this book appeared in my bookshelf. It has the same structure. It is written very similarly, but... and it's done with a printing press, so like bulk printing. But it does have some Latin, some Greek. It has some stories that are related to Greek mythology. But it's not my Ballad of Hades. And what's weird, every time I look into this fucking book, I find a section of the book that didn't exist before. Like right now, I have opened the book. I am looking at a section that says, the chapter, it's like start of a new ballad. Anactoria is the title. Underneath it, it has a phrase written in Greek. I've never seen this. Who's the author? It doesn't have an author. The book doesn't have an author. It is produced by Swinburne. It has a publishing. It does not have an author. (1884). This book is from 1884. It has been cut up and had different sections of it, like, removed. There is a page, 2 pages missing at the very front. Date of publication, 1884. That's it. It's from London, 1884, Piccadilly. Possible grimoire? I don't know. Yeah, the page has been all cut up. the front page. And the book has definitely seen better days. And I know this is a book that was published a lot, because at the back of the book, the last final bits of the book, it has a link. Not a link, sorry. It has a list.
It has a link.
Fuck.
www.
I went to say a list. I fucked up. A list of books that have been published by the same publisher. My god, this fucking list goes on forever. Gentleman's Magazine. Poems of Algernon. Charles Swinburne. No. Okay. The book is literally called Poems and Ballads. It is by that name though. Yes. Apparently it is, yes. That's crazy, right? So there's a lot of books that they published. I'm seeing magic is brought up a lot. The Dictionary of Miracles, More Worlds Than One, The Martyrs of Science, Letters on Natural Magic. It's crazy. And some of these sections have years to them, like this one has a year 1865. But, yeah, it's nuts, right? This book does exist. The Ballad of Hades, the book that I'm looking for, doesn't seem to have ever existed. Even though it looks exactly like this, and the title looks almost exactly the same. The difference is the book is double the size of what it used to, of the one that I remember. And the Ballad of Hades doesn't exist online. DMing some ideas. Fair. I'm pretty sure it's the first one that you sent. That's the book that I have. But it's not the one that I'm missing. Because, yeah, no, but, like, the Ballad of Hades is not... The Ballad of Hades didn't have an author. This book does. By the seams of it, because that is the book there. But again, this is the book that my Ballad of Hades book got replaced with. Again, it makes it sound like and feel like real spiritual and real like, you know? Because the Ballad of Hades books, it had 1800s year on it. It had no author, and it didn't even have a title page. It just kind of just started straight into it. So there is a high chance it might be a one-of-a-kind book that doesn't exist anywhere else in the world that someone wrote for themselves. I'll have to report this to the Department of Spooky Shit. Go for it. Let me know if they find my book. Yeah, and what's the weirdest part, right? You'd think that a book like that just disappeared, that I would just forget about it. I have never forgotten about this book. I never forgot about it. It's the kind of book that I would go back to, like, randomly. And it would be like, oh, yeah, I want to read that book again. Like, I remember that poem, I want to read that again. And so I'd go back to try and find it. And that's what I did after I got it, is I wouldn't read it all the time, I'd go back and then I'd read it in some sections. But then, for some reason, like, it just disappeared, and I didn't have it anymore. So, I don't know. And unfortunately, there's nothing I can really do, because I can't trace a book back. I can't trace a book back to, like, something that was 10 years ago. I don't know why, but Discord doesn't let me open links at the moment. Hold on. Alright, I'm having a bit of a read, eh? Hold on, give me a second. Is this the whole book, eh? Did you just find the whole fucking book?
What, Ballad of Hades?
No, the Epic of Hades.
Or the Epic of Hades?
Is that the whole fucking book? I'm like clicking through, I'm like, it's like page 224 out of 230. This could be it. This could actually be it, and I only had one of the books. I could have had the second book. The second book is titled Hades. I found 30 plus alchemical text of the archive. Good god. Because I'm looking at this, right? And I'm reading the text font. I think we might have found it.
Found it?
Yeah, the book is just called Hades. But, like, it'd make sense that they were probably sent the... Because it's book 2. It's not book 1 and it's not book 3. It's book 2. Because I remember reading some of, like, the... I never had book 3 to read. That one's called Olympus. I had the Hades one because it has... Alright, 153. This will be the one that tests it. 153. This will be a later combined publication. It definitely looks like it. Because this one has the 3 books in one. Which means mine might have been one of the first iterations of it. Hence why the name was slightly different, or why it was shown slightly different. I can actually download it? You're kidding, right? Can I actually download it? It's reading very familiar. Check Discord? Okay. Give me a second. Because I'm reading, like... Yeah, Psych was another one. And then, soon after that was... Was it after that? Dude, this is- I think you might have actually found it, eh? Holy shit. But this is like the whole fucking story. 3 dots, 3 dots, okay. 3 dots. Where's the oh, there's 3 dots. Yeah! Yeah, this is exactly the book. I'm looking at the front page of it, right? The cover has a picture of a side profile of a woman. Right? It has a side profile of a woman. That profile was on the front of the green cover of the book. But the book on the side just said Hades. Ballad of Hades. And then when you opened it, it didn't have any of the stuff. It just went straight to contents. And it just had, yeah. What the fuck? Hey, thank you! My fucking god, man! You're amazing! I'm not crazy, my book did exist! But where the fuck is it? Alright, I'm gonna- give me a second. I'm gonna have a quick look in my bookshelf. It pays to have an academic in chat. Yes. Dude. Crazy. I didn't even know that website existed. That's awesome. Give me a second. I'm gonna quickly have a look in my, my bookshelf. It's gonna be a quick ad break in a second anyway. I'm gonna have a look in my bookshelf just to make sure that now I have the actual name. It doesn't spontaneously appear out of the imaginary darkness, okay?
Imagine it appears again.
I need a torch. Where's my phone? It's a bit too dark. Alright. I can confirm it does not exist in my bookshelf. It's trapped in ad dimension. Fair. I had a look at my bookshelf. It's not there. Yeah, I think it's really for a good thing. So I never would have had this chance. You can see why I never would have fucking found it. I searched up the Epic of Hades book, and it gives me just about every other book in existence. Except for the one that I'm looking for. Here it is! Alright, hey, I'm gonna send this to you. This is what it looked like. Apparently, it's, the 7th edition. And all it said on the front was by a new writer. It didn't have an author, it just said by a new writer. Yeah, I know, right? By the way, this is on eBay. Someone was selling it on eBay. It's from 1879. Oh, that fits the description. But I swear to you, it said Ballad of Hades instead of Epic of Hades. Again, someone could have just literally just fucked up and wrote Ballad of Hades instead of Epic of Hades because, like, it got respined or something like that, right? But it looked exactly like that. It's crazy. Yeah, it could have been. 100%. Dude, I'm just so comforted to know that I'm not nuts. Could have had different titles in different countries. Well, considering it was in Australia, like, you know, that would make sense. Because all of the other versions of the Epic of Hades I see, they're a red covered book. That is the only one that is a green colored book, and it is the only one I can find online. Is that one that I sent you. I'll put it in the... and thank you, Unforgiven. That is the right one. For those of you that want to know, this is what my book looked like. Yeah. That's fucking nuts. You guys, absolute legends. Mystery solved. 10 years in the making. It could be your memory being wonky. I was a teenager. There's a chance, but I'm pretty sure mine said ballad, and because I searched it up and it literally Google said there is nothing that matches your search results. Again, it could have been, remember how epic can also mean is another word for ballad at times? It could literally be that it was like a lost in translation situation where someone, yeah, as you said, like it could have just been someone gave it a different title for that edition. But hey, it has been found. It exists. Oh, I wish I still had it. I really do. But I kind of do now. I have the book. I have the download, so I can read it all. So yes, thank you. Thank you, A. Thank you, Unforgiven. Thank you. The Nightlands was published as A Dream of X in the USA. That's nuts. But yeah, so this book, by the way, this Epic of Hades, I found this book in a dodgy little, like, it was an old corner store that had been turned into, it had old books. It only sold old books, secondhand books. There's a secondhand bookstore. It was in a beach town on the coast. It was manned by this old man who looked like he shouldn't be alive. It was like a 2-room secondhand bookshop, but the upstairs was apparently where he lived, so he like didn't. That was all closed off, but downstairs, like, you walked in there and it smelt like one of those old libraries that you'd always see, like, you know, one of those grand libraries. And all it was old books. I stayed in there for hours. And the old man, he's like, I haven't seen someone that has such a passion for reading and old books and history. Because I was a kid, remember? He goes, I haven't seen anyone that has such a passion as you do. So he gave me the fucking books. I had like a pile of 6 books. And most of these books, I still have them, by the way, some of them. These books were from the 1800s or like earlier. I had a book from the 1600s. It fell apart very, very fast. But the thing is, these are books that people have just thrown out, that have been gifted to other people. Like, this is the thing, right? And he gave it to me for like $6, like all these books. I might not be the 1600s. I'm thinking like that's probably a bit of a stretch. It was older. It was quite old. I'll say that. It was older than 1800s. But yeah, he gave them all to me for like $6. Just because I seemed enthusiastic for old books and history, and that I'm gonna take care of the books. And yeah, the Epic of Hades was one of them. And lo and behold, that book disappeared. But it has been found again. So yeah. Oh, dude, I'm so excited. I'm even thinking, right, I've been learning bookmaking. So I might actually, like, get the pages properly printed and bind my own version. Make my own version, like, own cover. I have the equipment to do it, almost. I need the material to do it. But holy shit. I can't get past that. Like, genuinely, oh dude, you fucking made my fucking month. That is crazy. It could even be like the highlight of this year. After all of the bad luck I've had, I never thought I would find this book again. This is genuinely... I'm not gonna sleep tonight. I'm just gonna be reading. I'm so tempted to print it, but it's 240 pages. Hi, Zoro. But yeah, that's fucking nuts. Yeah. Holy shit, it's almost 11. I probably should go to bed. You could just print the one segment. Yeah, but if I'm gonna print it, I might as well print it all. That's my theory anyway. I'll read it digitally for now, and then I will make it my new project. My new project is going to be bookbinding the Epic of Hades, bringing it back into creation. What I'm gonna bind it with, I still have to figure out. Holy shit, I got a delivery recently, and they gave me like thin wooden plank. It'd be the perfect bookbinding material. And I have my saw. It'd be the perfect length as well. The perfect page size. I just need like the string. Get it titled The Ballad of Hades, just to spite reality. You fucking know it, I will. Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna call it The Ballad of Hades, and people are gonna get so fucking confused, and it's gonna be perfect. Because then it just further supports my story. Oh dude, I've found my new project. This is great. I'm so happy. This is great. Right. Open book says epic. Dude, I'm a calligrapher. I can technically make my own page and it will be written and say something different. Actually, my brother does have an old typewriter. If I can get some ink pads, I could literally type Ballad of Hades as the title. How far do I want to go with this? But yeah. Alrighty. Well, I think I'm gonna go to. I think I'm gonna end stream. I think I'm gonna go to bed. It's been almost 2.5 hours. We didn't do any art, but dude, this is so much better than art. I needed this. I have my book back. I'm so happy. Genuinely.
My real question is, why did it change me?
What?
Your book.
What do you mean?
Because there's no shot you just made up a Ballad of Hades. Just
it exists.
When you had a different. No. Like when you had a completely different book, not at all similar to it, right?
Yeah. That part I can't explain. That's something I still can't explain. Unless I put it down and picked up the wrong book. But I wasn't in a place where like there was lots of books or anything like that. Oh yeah, by the way, for that old secondhand bookstore, that old guy, I went back there a year later to go and get some more books, and the entire store is closed down as if it was never even in operation. It's an abandoned building. And apparently someone said, like, we were talking, they're like, yeah, no, there was a really nice bookshop here at some point. And I'm like, okay, so it did exist. They're like, yeah, no, but it's been closed for a very long time though. Apparently the old man that was running it, he was a volunteer and he passed away and there was no one that picked it up after him to continue the store. And I'm like, no one? What happened to all the books? And they're like, I don't know. Probably what happens with it whenever anyone dies and doesn't have anyone to continue on like their legacy, right? So yeah. So there's that. It is. There's a high chance that inside the boarded up windows was still the entire library sitting inside. And then you know what I found out? I went back another couple years hoping someone had picked it back up. And I went back only to find out that the entire store caught fire and burned down. So that building is still there. The building survived, but all of the contents inside did not. It's fucking like giving me like Library of like what's that? Yeah, Library of Alexandria fucking vibes. Especially with around it was a couple years after that my book went missing. Or around about that time after that it went missing. Crazy, right? By the way, the old man in the store, actually now that I think about it, he kind of looked like the old guy from Toy Story that repairs Woody.
That's interesting. You sure you met a normal man?
Yeah, no, I did. He wasn't like that like that short or crumpled and stuff, but like
No, you know, hey, you sure you met a normal old man, not some god disguised as one?
I don't know. Like he gave me some like books that were like probably very expensive, but they were also like books that no one else cared about, and like he'd see people walk in. Oh, actually, that's how I know he exists, right? He sold other weird trinkets that he'd found that were like, he got all these old books and donations and that sort of stuff. They got donated, right? He'd go to like op shops and like other sort of stores and get all of these old books from them, and then he'd put them in his collection and sell them, right? he would sell old keys. Old rusted keys, kind of like that, kind of very like.
It's just like the House of Wisdom in Baghdad. I know, right?
I still have my old I still have the key that I got. It's in my room. It's, yeah. Like, I'm just thinking back on it, like, it's all, like, piecing together just how fucking weird a situation this was.
You sure you didn't meet someone from the House of Wisdom or something?
I have a photo of me inside the store. I don't remember if I still have it, but I did have, the store, a photo of, my ex took a photo of me in the store. Because, I was being picked on for how crazy freaked out I was at the fact that this store even existed in the first place. You have access to the underworld? I don't know about access to the underworld.
I feel like you'd be welcome.
Alexandria and Baghdad?
Gosh. I genuinely wonder, what have we missed out in history?
Imagine I did actually find, like, one of, like, the last remaining, like, teleporting parts of the library.
Just like this mythical library.
And it burns up to move on to the next place.
It keeps doing that, dude. I wouldn't be surprised. That'd be cool. That is now in Gilwaki.
and that is how it made it into Ern's system. But yeah, that's my crazy story. Dude, this is like life part of like your side quest complete after fucking 10 years. I was so prepared for like one day that like I'd go into like some museum or some shit and I go, wait, that's my book! It exists, that's my book! But yeah, I remember there was a secondhand bookstore that opened up in my hometown, and I went in there and I asked them specifically for that book, and they're like, "There's nothing on the system that looking through their archives and everything, they're like, we've never heard of that." And these guys were like avid collectors, by the way. They sold like $1,000 books that were like one of like the crazy like Holy Bible, like the massive ones, the ones that you need like an entire table just to flip a page. Like they'd sell like the massive encyclopedias and everything that are crazy expensive, like full sets of things in great condition, and every book was dated based on what year they were made and the condition they were in. I got a few books from there as well. That was crazy. But yeah, they turned around and they told me that the book that you're trying to find, it doesn't exist. And if it does, it's probably a one-of-a-kind book that was just a one-off. Because you can't give us an author. And you can't give us, like, a proper name. And I was like, But I swear to you that the author's name is a new writer. Cause that's all it said. Cause if you open the title page, it doesn't have any author. It made it very difficult to find the book, that's for sure. But against all odds, I have found it again. This is great. I'm very happy. Alright. Before I start ranting and rambling on even more about a book that you guys are probably tired of hearing me rant and ramble on about, I am gonna go to bed. We will have Scuffed Gaming tomorrow night, so stay tuned for that. Look forward to seeing you all then. Thank you everyone who tuned in on YouTube for joining in. This was a sort of a test, a trial stream, I guess, in a sense, to make sure that that was working well. You have a 2-volume copy of The History of India from 1879. It's missing pages though. That's crazy. Dude, we need to like compare bookshelves of like some of our old books. I feel like it'd be very interesting. But yeah. So yeah, this is the first time doing a multi-stream. So we have a YouTube stream on one side and we have a Twitch stream on another. And I feel like it went pretty well. Like, it's a little bit of a shame I can't have the YouTube chat up with the Twitch chat, but maybe I'm gonna fix the YouTube stuff. I'm gonna put a description, some links, and yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll get there eventually. So yeah, it was nice and fun. Alright, well, take care, everyone. Thank you so much for watching and joining just to chat with me. I know there was no art, but maybe next time there will be. But I appreciate it nonetheless. Alright. Good night, everyone! I'm guessing you're playing a game, Anne.
Yeah. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone. Take care.